Good evening, fastball fans, and welcome to John Miller Field. It is the 77th annual ISC World Tournament. We're at the world-famous Circle Tap Bar and Grill, just on the outskirts of Denmark, Wisconsin. Blair Setford, Joe Todd, Luciano Lafrano, Carol Dureste on the ISC network. ALVINTON ACES from southwestern Ontario are out in the field. They're the home team in this matchup. They'll be taking on the host team, Circle Tap Dukes. Coming to the plate for the Dukes in the top of the first inning, it'll be Matt Palazzo, designated player for Circle Tap. He'll be followed by Luigi Pinto, Manuel Godoy, that's 3. Blair Ezekiel in the 4 spot. Tyrone Bartarillo hits 5th. Tyler Johnson, the U.S. national team player, in the 6th spot. Vallejo Munoz bats 7th. Justin Laskowski, the Canadian national team, hits 8th. Dante Mudakatir, young New Zealand player now based in Australia, he brings up the rear in the 9 spot for Circle Tap. Defensively for the ALVINTON Aces, Josh Hamilton's in left, Andy Treast in center, Braden Woodworth is in right field, Rowan Sears is your shortstop, Aaron Stockings at third base on the left side. On the right side, Devin Treast at second, Tyler Huff is at first base for the Aces. Tammy Madzaluka, Botswana, is on the board for the ALVINTON Aces. Jamie Shield behind the plate for the team in red and black. All black for the Circle Tap Dukes. Just missing for ball 1 is Pammy. And ball 2 to Matt Palazzo. USA national team player from Iowa. Talked on the recent podcast appearance on Dust Up. He's got a batting cage in his backyard. That's how serious Matt Palazzo takes his hitting. You go back to the 2019 ISC World Tournament Championship game. Palazzo then with the New York Gremlins. A big home run over the right field fence to get the Gremlins on the board and on their way to what was then their second consecutive ISC World Tournament Championship. There's a strike. Run the count to 3-1. Leadoff walk to Palazzo, and I am quite sure that is not the way Pammy and the ALVINTON Aces, boy, almost went to the old name. Sure, that's not the way they wanted to start the game. Luigi Pinto to the dish. Venezuelan national team player. This is a bit of a David and Goliath matchup. The Aces, mostly a local league team. Madzaluka from Botswana. This is his second year playing in Canada on the ISC tournament circuit. He came back a much improved pitcher this year. His velocity is up, control is better, and has had himself a good season playing on the Ontario tournament circuit. This one is well hit, center field. Treast back to the fence and home run. That one had just enough to get out of the park here over the scoreboard in center field, over that 20-foot fence. And Luigi Pinto gives the Dukes an early 2-0 lead. You see the handshake line there for the Dukes. High fives all around for Pinto. You see him get under this. This is a big fly ball home run. Way up in the air. Traced back to the fence and just getting out and over. Manuel Godoy from the Argentina national team to the plate. Godoy, over the last few years, one of the best hitters here on the ISC tournament circuit and at the World Tournament. A couple of all-world team selections to his name. Always among the leaders in average, home runs. Really strong at the plate. Looks at this one down in the dirt. For those following along with the out-of-town scoreboard, New Zealand Blue Sox have roared back to take a 5-4 lead. That's in the 6th inning over the Georgian Bay Giants, so that one ongoing. New Zealand scoring 3 in the 5th and the 6th to take the lead. A final, Lacey A's 5-1 winners over Stoneyard. We'll catch you up on some of the scores as we go along here on opening day, the 77th annual ISC World Tournament. I don't know if Madzaluka was a little bit rattled by that home run, but he's struggling to find the range here against Manuel Godoy. And that misses just inside. If you're just joining us, just getting caught up, a walk to Matt Palazzo was brought in on the home run by Luigi Pinto. That is the 2 runs on the board for the Circle Top Dukes. Manuel Godoy at the plate. And that one is fisted right back up the middle. That's how strong Manuel Godoy is. Jammed him on the hands, but he's got enough strength to take that right back up the middle. So 3 batters, first 3 reaching base for the Dukes. That'll bring Blair Ezekiel to the plate, the veteran from Newfoundland and Labrador. Blair made the move down here to Circle Tap about 5 years ago, and it's almost resurrected his career, Joe Todd, in some regards. He has become a guy who was hitting in the fringes with the Gremlins to the middle of the lineup again with the Dukes, and he's been full value for coming over here.
Made a real commitment to this program and really contributed back. Done a great job here.
Off the glove, and a shot put over to first base, gathered up on the hop by Tyler Huff. Ezekiel retired for the first out. Manuel Godoy up to second base on the play. You get a great look at the shot put there from Pammy. They get the out at first, and Joe, that's not what you want for your first touch there if you're Tyler Huff, but he handled it. Tyrone Bartarillo to the dish. Joe, you and I got to talk to Tyrone as we made our way around Circle Top Bar and Grill last night. We were here to watch the finals of the 21 and under tournament. Tyrone, who been here all season with the Dukes, up from New Zealand. Joe, you talk about professional hitters. There's very few who are more studious than Tyrone. He laces this one to the gap out and left. Coming around to score easily as Manuel Godoy as they trade places. Tyrone Bartarillo, an opposite field gap double. And just like that, it's 3-0 for the Dukes. And, Joe, that's just a great piece of hitting.
Yeah, he just took that ball the other way. Took exactly what Pammy gave him and drove that ball the other way, just showing the upper body strength of Tyrone Barbarillo.
Tyler Johnson, USA national team player to the plate. It's been 5 out of the 6 national team players, and Barbarillo is only not a national team player by some curious selection choices down in New Zealand. So the Dukes making a statement here in front of a
great crowd.
Great crowd as it continues to build here on a Saturday night in Denmark, Wisconsin. Just about 6:41 local time.
Great atmosphere out there. I just got back into the booth, and you can feel the appreciation for the love of the team, of their home team, the Circle Tap Dukes. They really support this team extremely well here. Center field bleachers are starting to fill in.
Some zip up and in from Pammy Madzaluka. (3-0) to Tyler Johnson. Tyler had a breakout year last year, Joe. Made the All-World team, continued on to Team USA, and had a good World Cup down in Auckland, New Zealand. USA picking up the bronze medal, their first medal in 22 years at the World Cup. Tyler right in the midst of that. 7 batter, Aleo Munoz. Good young Argentina player. Making his way up to the Dukes. Has played in the Midwest on a couple teams. That's over the head of Huff. That's going to get down to right field. Coming in to score is Barbarillo. Johnson goes coast to coast. And that's just one of those seeing eye hits, Joe, where as a defender, you just can't do anything about that. You can see it here on the replay. High hopper. Huff just kind of rolled his eyes. It gets past Devin Treast and out to right field, and it's just nothing you can do.
Oh, Munoz drove it pretty hard, and it had a real high bounce as it cleared Huff's head there.
So a quick meeting on the mound as Jamie Shields out to have a chat with Pammy.
Second baseman, number 19, Justin Laskowski.
And it doesn't get any easier with Justin Laskowski coming to the plate, the Canadian national team member. Canada a silver medal at that World Cup in November. Justin was in and out of the lineup for Canada, Joe, and that's a tough lineup to crack. Chases upstairs. He's got plenty of pop in the stick.
First met Justin at the WBSC out in Prince Albert. Out in 2014, I believe.
Yeah, with the Canadian U19 team
Yes.
at the time. Down on strikes here as he chases the rise ball up and out for strike 3. Dante Mudicatier, the 9 batter in the order, the 9 batter in the inning for Circle Tap. Dante making his second appearance on the ISC circuit. Was a member of the 2016 ISC champion Toronto Gators. Came up as a youngster, spent most of the season as a pinch runner, but got to learn what it takes to be on a big team. Flares this one out to right and picks up an RBI. As Tyler Johnson pushes across a run. Munoz goes first to third on that little flare by Mudicatier. And we're back to the top of the shop, Joe, for Matt Palazzo. And you can guarantee that he is not going to be looking for another walk. He's going to be looking for something meaty to get out of the yard.
Not the start that Pammy actually wanted, or the Elviston ACES.
I am sure this was the start they were dreading, actually. Yeah.
And it's tough to come out and play the host team. You know, the crowd's against you, and so it's one big battle.
Shields felt like he got squeezed on that pitch. Nicholas Deu, the home plate umpire. Dallas Apfelbacher's at first. You see him right there in your screen on your shot. And over at third base is Keith Cook. Deu was on the crew at the U23 World Cup that was down in Paraná, Argentina. He goes by Nico. I was talking to Randy McLam, our UIC, this morning at breakfast as we sat adjacent to he and Keith Cook, the deputy UIC. There goes Mudakatir, slides in safely, and Munoz retreats back to third base. So a pair of runners in scoring position now for Mott Palazzo, but frankly, when runners are just on base with Matty at the plate, they're in scoring position.
Very tough out. One of the best hitters in the game.
Well, you don't want to leave anything middle here on a 3-0 count because he'll deposit it over that tent. You can see he had the green light, and just a little bit too jacked up and smashes. Yes, just a bit. Yes, smashes that one into the fence. I'd say it's a good thing that Pinto has got the shin pads on over there on the right side. He might need them. So 3-1 count, still a good hitter's count. It just misses outside, ball 4. So bases loaded for Luigi Pinto. He's already got a 2-run home run. He could have himself a tournament here in the first inning, Joe.
Yes. Luigi getting his bat.
Luigi Pinto.
Alvinston has got somebody up in the bullpen, but I'm blocked out by the dugout roof. Joe, maybe we can get a shot, Luciano, of the Alvinston bullpen just to see who's pitching down there in the bullpen. Number 37 for Alvinston is it's Brody Fraser. Yeah, that would make sense too. Brody Fraser, another good young player from Nova Scotia. Get a good look at Pinto. And there's a called strike. Bases loaded for the Dukes. Munoz is at third base. Mudakatir at second. At Palazzo at first. Something that's got Hammy's attention over in the dugout. Takes a handful of rosin. And it just misses down low. And this one is smoked out to left. That bangs off the fence. 1 run around. Mudakatir for 2. Here comes Palazzo for 3. And Luigi Pinto, Joe, has 5 RBIs in the first inning.
He's having himself an opening day.
He's having himself an opening day indeed. The early leader in the RBI category, Luigi Pinto. He's played 1 inning.
Home run, triple,
Well,
5
double.
RBIs,
Let's
double?
not be too generous. He
Double?
only ended up
Oh,
at
that-
second.
okay.
He cleared the bases, though.
Okay. Too short of the cycle.
Upstairs to Manuel Godoy. And Shields is going to make what I already think is his second trip out here.
Well, he's going out to make sure the signals. I guess that's the only way.
That's right. That would be the only way. This is a new rule in the ISC, the Charged Defensive Conference. You're allowed 1 per inning for the defense. The only other way you can go out there is to get your signals straight, and the umpire's got to go with you and get you back behind the plate. It's designed to help speed up the game. This was a new rule instituted in the off-season by the ISC. Chopper, that is just foul, as you saw Tyler Huff reach across the line to snare that hot shot off the bat of Manuel Godoy. A couple other new things. You'll notice the optic yellow ball being used for the first time here in the ISC World Tournament this year. It's the same K-Master ball we've been using for the last 15 or so years, as that gets through the wickets of Jamie Shields, and up to third goes Luiger Pinto. It's still the K-Master ball made by Rawlings. It still has the cork center and the leather cover and the same amount of stitches. It's just optic yellow. That misses off the outside corner. It's the same color ball used in all the international play and just about every other national championship around the globe. The other new advent this year is the use of the safe base at first base. You'll see both the white and the orange bags. The runner on an initial play at first base is obliged to go to the orange bag. There is no switching like they have in a couple of national organizations on drop third strikes. You still have to go to the orange bag on that first touch unless you are rounding the bag. Out to second, Devin Treist intercepts that first inning, and it's a long one for the Dukes. They score 8. Pinto leading the way for Circle Tap. We'll come back for the bottom of the first. ALVINTON ACES in a big hole already.
Whether you want to improve your grip in wet conditions or just to find the control you've been looking for, the Gorilla Gold Grip Enhancer has become the most recommended name in softball and in every sport where grip plays an important role. Gorilla Gold is the only grip enhancement approved by the ISC, ASA, and NCAA.
Hello, my name is Michael Holobradek. I'm from Czech Republic, playing for Hill United Chiefs, and I'm using Gorilla Gold.
My name is Pablo Miglievaca from Argentina, and for every game I use Gorilla Gold.
Hola, mi nombre es Samuel Villalbazo.
Well, there you see the defensive lineup for the Circle Tap Dukes. Manuel Godoy is on the left, Tyler Johnson in center, Aleo Munoz is in right field, Tyrone Bartorillo, Dante Mudicatier, Justin Laskowski, and Blair Ezekiel around the horn for the Circle Tap Dukes. Luiger Pinto behind the plate, and Devin McCullough, erstwhile Canadian national team member, on the board. Leading off for the ALVINTON ACES, it'll be Devin Treist. He'll be followed by Josh Hamilton. There you see the rest of the order. Brody Fraser, Tyler Huff, Braden Woodworth, Jamie Shields, Aaron Stocking, Rowan Sears, and Andy Treist bats in the 9 spot for the ALVINTON ACES. Devin McCullough throws very hard. He has got a unique, to put it succinctly, a unique pitching motion where he gets diagonal in the air. Great rise ball, world-class changeup. Joe, you would say the rise ball likely Devin's bread and butter?
Yes, that's his primary pitch. That's the one that he can call on to be a strike, to be the batter's enemy.
And of course, the pitch that won the World Cup back in 2015, the changeup, is a great one. Oh, that was up in the helmet and off the helmet of Devin Treese, but he pops up and is going to make his way to first. But oh my goodness, that is an eye-opener.
Very lucky it caught majority of the helmet.
Well, I think all helmet, fortunately. Yeah, just off up near the visor, too. If you were a Toronto Blue Jay fan, you saw a very similar pitch from Alek Manoah, who got the Orioles batter in the face, and that was just a centimeter away from being the same result. Whew, you don't like to see that.
No.
Not as hard as Devin McCullough throws. Upstairs and swing through by Josh Hamilton. And chases the rise ball again for strike two. Sans batting gloves, Joe. A little old school from Josh Hamilton. Don't see too many guys without the gloves these days.
No. And choking up a lot, too.
Waste pitch down and away from McCullough. Maybe just a little bit too amped up here in front of this growing home crowd. There's the changeup, and waiting on it was Josh Hamilton. Back to the fence, and up against the fence is Tyler Johnson, makes the catch. Give it a ride, Josh Hamilton. Maybe sitting on the changeup, Joe. That was all of it, and just up against the fence. Great shot.
Yeah, he got all of it right on the barrel. Great focus there by Johnson.
Well, that'll bring up designated player Brody Fraser from Nova Scotia, who is very similar to David Watson in the prior game, making his ISC debut. Fraser, a real good young prospect from Nova Scotia. Already a MVP in the Shooters Bar League down in the Halifax area. Swings over the top of that drop from McCullough, and that's a good pitch too. But getting to see the ISC circuit, and it's a step up for everybody on their first go-round.
Yeah, you just have to go into it and take it day by day and plate appearance by plate appearance. Every time you're going to learn something.
Down in the dirt from McCullough. And the one thing you'll see with Devin McCullough, Joe, is he throws a lot of pitches. Strikeout pitcher, so you're going to get that, but Devin seems to go to a lot of full counts.
Just missing.
Well, that's a good take by Brody Fraser, who's already noticed that Nico Deu has got a tight zone. We saw that in the top of the first. So Fraser's gone to school on that. But chases upstairs for strike three. Seemed like he wanted to swing at that pitch no matter where it was, Joe. He was geared to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could just see it on his face afterwards.
Yeah. Shucks.
Yeah, something like that for sure, no doubt. Tyler Huff to the dish and takes called strike one. And then chases a drop ball for strike 2. Upstairs.
Well, with 11 people coming to the plate, Devin was on the bench for a long time too, so.
That one misses down. Yeah, Jorge Segura was warming up down the sidelines during the inning to keep himself loose. Jorge, the number 2 for the Dukes, the Guatemalan national. And inside to Tyler Huff, and deep count again, 3-2. Going to go foul and out of play. So good at bat here by the 4-batter for ALVINTON, Tyler Huff.
It's important to stay aggressive still. You're not going to get the 8 runs back in 1 inning, so just pack away.
And that one is fouled off out of play. Joe, a final from Memorial Park up in Denmark. The Auckland, New Zealand Blue Sox come back and beat Georgian Bay 5-4 as they score 3 runs late in the game to pull out the win. What I think is going to be a real good battle, Ostrander Norseman and Waterdown Hammer are 1-1 just in the top of the second. We'll keep an eye on that game for you. There's ball 4 as that skips away from Pinto. Up to second base goes Devin Treast. Earlier, Lacey A's 5-1 winners over Stoneyard. The AHI Reapers, if you joined us on our prelim broadcast, were big 11-2 winners over the Elmira Expos. The Bar Buzz, 2-0 upset win over the San Antonio Glowworm. Bar scored 2 in the top of the first inning and rode that all the way to the win. An 11-inning game, Joe, to get things going.
Yeah.
Grand Valley Expos and their ISC World Tournament debut, 11 innings. They win 2-0 over the Notre Dame Clubs. A great pitcher's battle there between Luke Zettel and Brady Woods. There you see the changeup.
Great mix
from Devin McCullough. 2-0 winners for the Grand Valley Expos, and we'll see them on the ISC network tomorrow. They'll take on the Hill United Chiefs. And the Northwest Braves, 5-3 winners over the Pegasus Redmen. The Braves making their ISC World Tournament debut as well. So a couple of debutantes, Joe.
Yes.
Inside from McCullough. I don't know how many pitches he's thrown, Joe. I got to say it's close to 30 already.
Yeah, I'm going to have a look at that.
See if we can dig that up on Game Changer.
Yeah.
But wow, he's throwing a lot of pitches already. And this one is driven to center and gone. A home run to get ALVINTON right back into it. Braden Woodworth, the right fielder, takes one out of the yard. And that silences things here at John Miller Field. I think everybody thought the Dukes were going to have this on cruise control. Mr. Woodworth says, I don't think so.
No.
Boom!
Couple of crucial errors. A hit batsman and a walk. Calling back to haunt Devin McCullough.
Well, this one is downstairs to Jamie Shields, the catcher for ALVINTON. And there's the changeup, waves at it. And this one is lifted out to right, back near the fence. And that's up and off the fence. Can't get a glove on it as Manuel Godoy.
Home run and a triple, back to back.
Well, you said you can't get all 8 runs back in the inning, but boy, they're doing their damnedest to try.
Yes. Yeah. Good for Alveston to keep your composure.
Little spunk here.
Yeah.
And a quick mound meeting from Scott Standifer as he's coming out. I got to think this is a pretty one-way conversation here, and I think it's going to involve the words throw strikes.
Yes. Yeah, don't be working on any, don't practice against this team.
So, Joe, it's Reese Yancey who is pitching for Waterdown and Brad Kilpatrick for Ostrander. That's a nice battle of young left-handers. Some up-and-coming stars there. You could maybe even say Kilpatrick is a star. Call it in with a strike. Swing there by Aaron Stocking as he can chase that one out off the plate. That misses downstairs. And a tight zone, Joe, is going to work to the advantage for the Alvinston Aces here against Devin McCullough, who doesn't fill up the strike zone.
No, he nibbles a lot. Well, you don't want to leave any more runs. You got a big run over at third base. Another walk.
No.
Oh, strikeout.
Strike 3. McCullough finally sits down the side here, but Alvinston pushed 3 back across, so it's 8-3, Joe. 11 runs in the first inning. That's a lot of runs.
Yeah.
That's a long first inning. We'll take a break. Stay with us here on the ISC Network. How confident are you in your organization's security posture? If your answer isn't 100%, you're not alone. Most organizations aren't doing enough to protect their data, and they know it. With Armitage Technology, you can stop worrying about IT security issues so you can focus on moving your business forward. Our experienced staff monitor and maintain your IT infrastructure to keep your business running. Visit us at armitagetech.com. and make your technology work for your business. So, Joe, after a somewhat astounding first inning where Circle Tap sent 11 men to the plate, they scored 8 runs. Alvinston answers with 3 of their own, including a big 3-run home run by Braden Woodworth. That was followed up by a triple by Jamie Shields. They strand that runner. But Alvinston certainly got some fight.
Yes. Showed a little bit of grit there and fought their way back.
Small town USA,
Doing a little
the
bit
birthplace
of
of the
landscaping
great.
out there, and Blair Ezekiel will lead things off for the Circle Top Dukes. And in for a strike. Your Pammy, you just got to settle down and try and push across some strikes here now. Make the Dukes hit your pitch. You don't want to give up anything free.
Pammy threw 45 pitches in his first inning of work.
McCullough couldn't have been far behind. We'll get that number for you when we get back to the bottom of the second inning. But he had to be at least 40 pitches there that inning.
Yeah.
To be Ezekiel, Bartarillo, and Johnson for the Dukes. Little bleeder on the infield. Evan Treist, no worse the wear from getting beamed by McCullough in the bottom of the inning. Ty Bartarillo now to the plate. Double off the fence in his first trip. You know, we talked to Ty when we got into Circle Top last night, and he was excited as ever about, here's a guy who's probably on his, got to be 12th or 13th ISC World Tournament, but couldn't wait to get going. And, he was real excited that it's here in Circle Top to be playing in front of the home crowd. And he had a good feeling about this Dukes team, didn't he?
Yes, very positive, uplifting. He really liked the whole season he's had with the team.
Circle Top come in with a 21-10 record. They were in the finals in Elkland and in Tavistock. Semi-finalists here at their own tournament at the Boys of Summer. Finished, I believe, in a tie for 5th at the USA Nationals. So I stand to be corrected on that. I think that's what it was, tie for 5th.
Yes.
That one misses downstairs. And it seemed like they were always missing a guy or two, Joe, at a couple of the events. They didn't have everybody in Tavistock. They didn't have everybody, I think it was in Elkland. They had a pickup pitcher here, pickup pitcher there. And just misses off the outside corner. Shields looking for a called strike on that outside corner. That's a tight zone there by Dayu. And he's getting a little bit of stick from the ALVINTON bench. You can see the replay there. Pammy wanted that pitch as well. Tyler Johnson to the plate. Swings over the top of a good drop there from Pammy Madzalukwa. Here you see our 8-3 line. In for a strike. And no, you didn't misread that. That is still just, that was all in the first inning. We're here in the top of the second. Blair Sepford, Joe Todd, Luciano Lafrano. Carol Dureste is on our action camera, perched atop the first base dugout. This one is lifted up in the air, short center. Andy Treist will come on and make the diving grab. and roll the ball effectively back into second base from his belly. Long way for Andy to come here on the run. You see him make the grab. Good catch by our good friend, Andy Treist.
Covers a lot of territory. Very quick. Reads the ball well off the bat.
We talked about that in the prior game. The importance of the read in the first step or two as an outfielder often tells the tale whether you're able to make that catch or not. Andy got the good read there and the good jump on the ball. Leo Munoz. Fouls this one straight back to the screen. And that one misses down and away, and Joe, he's having some trouble with the landing area out there right now.
Yeah.
He's going to do some excavating. Little touch of the rosin bag back to the board. Little slow roller on the infield. Treist will glove it and flip to Huff at first, and that's a much better inning from Hemi Madzalukwa for the Alvinston Aces. They keep the Dukes off the board. We'll go to the home half of the second. Aces coming back to the plate.
Catcher, inch by inch, we'll fight to make the lives of First Nations people in this community, this province, and on this continent better. I know we have a long way to go, but I'm proud to say as long as our people have a need, Dreamcatcher will be there for them.
Shortstop Rowan Sears. Shortstop Rowan Sears to the plate, and he looks at a 42.5 footer from Devin McCullough for ball one. And this one is lifted out to left, and ranging across is Leo Munoz. He'll make the first out of the inning.
Center fielder number 14, Andy Treist.
Looked like he got a piece, just didn't get all of it. 9-batter Andy Treist for Alvinston. Good wheels. Drops it down. McCullough, who fields his position very well. I'm sure Andy would have liked that a little bit to his left, but you'll see it here. McCullough jumps on it pretty quick and right on target to Laskowski covering at first. So back to the top of the shop, and we'll see if McCullough buzzes the tower just to unnerve Devin Treist a little bit more. Oh, downstairs for ball one. Jorge Segura continues to throw down the sidelines. If they have McCullough on a pitch count, he might be getting close to it. Segura from Guatemala, drop ball specialist. Treese chases the rise. It's a nice combination, Joe. You got the rise ball pitcher with Devin McCullough, drop ball guy with Segura. Good combo. There you see Jorge. Right in front of Carol Dureste, our action camera operator. Jorge's challenge, Joe, is staying on the board when he starts.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's in his way. Blows this one right on by Devin Treese in a much quicker second inning than the first. 3 up, 3 down go the Aces. Dukes coming back to the plate.
The New York Gremlins congratulate our own Dr. Bob Neidick on his induction to the ISC Hall of Fame as this year's recipient of the Bob Welby Memorial Recognition of Service Award. Dr. Bob is a 4-time ISC World Champ, winning his first 2 titles with the Kitchener River Shark Twins in 2008 and 2009. His second 2 came with us in 2018 and 2019. And he says, we're not done. Bob started in the game when he was 17 in Pennsylvania and played in a national championship in 1996. His first ISC World Tournament was 2004 in Fargo, North Dakota. Since 2012, he's been a Gremlins co-sponsor, and we couldn't be prouder of him to be recognized for all of his contributions to the game.
Congratulations, Dr. Bob.
Joe, that's a nice tribute there from the New York Gremlins to Bob Neidick. He'll be inducted into the ISC Hall of Fame as the Bob Welby recipient tomorrow morning, the annual ISC Hall of Fame breakfast ceremony. Congratulations, Dr. Bob, indeed. Look forward to that.
Always a great ceremony. Congratulations to all the new inductees.
Well, chief among them, Dean Kane, the longtime manager-coach of the Circle Top Dukes. Being recognized for everything that he's done for this organization over the years, and deservedly so here in his hometown. This one is straight up and out off the bat at Justin Laskowski. Todd Twatchman, who played in Wisconsin a number of years with the Farm Tavern, going into the Hall of Fame in the player category, as is Richard Dick Helmuth, the late Richard Dick Helmuth, player in the 40s and 50s in the formation of the game, being recognized for his contribution with the Danuba Condors in the old National Softball Congress and the Western Softball Congress in particular. The real strong league that they had back in California included the Long Beach Nighthawks. Danuba, a powerhouse in that league, but just couldn't get by the Nighthawks. They were often the second best team around, but couldn't get past the Nighthawks to get to the ISC World Tournament. They did a few times over the years.
Some great pass ball out in that California area over the years.
So we'll look forward to honoring those fine gentlemen tomorrow morning. Laskowski again chases upstairs. That was the last at bat too, Joe. He chased upstairs for the strikeout.
Need a little more plate discipline there. Stay within yourself. Stay within your own strike zone.
Called strike 3. Laskowski Caught looking.
Second strikeout for Pammy. Both times caught by Leskowski.
Dante Mudicatier to the plate. Dante, that little flare over the head of second baseman Devin Treist. Dante came around to score back in the first. He's now based in Australia, but gets back and plays a little bit with in the New Zealand Nationals. Big cut there, comes up empty. Couple balls in from the sidelines. You get a good look at Dante. Oh, and that knocks him down. That got him on the hand, I think, too, and that's going to sting. Somebody chirps foul.
Yeah.
So Dante down to first base. Some good genes in that family. He is the son, of course, of ISC Hall of Famer Thomas Macchia. Father and son duo that were on the Toronto Gators, and you see it right off the hand. Back in 2016, world champions. The final one for Thomas Macchia. Went into the Hall of Fame that year and came out a champion.
Yes.
Not a bad way to go out.
Yes. Great wrap-up.
Well, Matt Palazzo gets his third plate appearance here just in the top of the third inning. 2 walks, and you know he's chomping at the bit to get into one. Luiger Pinto put the bare hand out to try and grab that one as it sped on by. They're going to laugh about that in the on-deck circle. I don't know. I think I'd just be trying to get out of the way.
Yeah, move it in somewhere. Or...
Yeah. I mean, he is almost 60 degrees behind Matty, and Palazzo has fouled 2 off pretty close to him. On the move is Mudicatier. Shields throw down and out at second base. A good throw and a better tag by the shortstop, Rowan Sears, who handled that on the hop. You'll see it here. Bang. Right on with the tag. A good play.
Great eye hand there.
And a good pitch to throw on, too. You see him slide right into the tag. Nothing he can do there. The throw was bang on the money from Shields. And this skips in from Pammy. That was about a 44-footer.
Yeah.
46 feet from the board to the plate. 60 feet for the bases. Time by Pammy, and Palazzo wasn't really set there either. And a half swing by Palazzo down on strikes. And again, a much better inning here for Pammy Madzalukwa and the Alvinston Aces. A pair of zeros on the board. We'll go to the bottom of the third inning. Circle Top Dukes 8, Alvinston 3.
For the best Bear Tent banter on the airwaves, listen to Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly. Here's some of the biggest stars chatting with 2 of Newfoundland's own, Jason Hill and Steve Mullally. It's unfiltered and uncensored. Dust Up with Hilly and Lolly, wherever you get your podcasts. Yes, bye.
for the latest in softball innovation. The website where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas. Live games, news, tournaments, and much, much more. The best quality live softball. On demand so you can watch when you want. Become a Premier member now. SoftballPremierTV.com. Live it on Softball Premier. Probably Josh Hamilton, Joe, to lead things off here in the top of the second inning. Josh took one to the wall in center field his first trip, gave it a ride, and that was... it
was an adventure for Tyler Johnson.
Yeah. It was a little unexpected, too, as was the home run, really, by Braden Woodworth. But this ALVINTON team has shown over the course of the summer that they can hit. They have put a lot of runs up on the board. They haven't won every single game, obviously, but they can hit the pitching.
Well, they've had the exposure this summer. They did go on the Ontario circuit with Tavistock, and I believe they went up to the Brussels tournament.
Don't know about the Brussels tournament, but I know they played in the Kitchener-Hallman tournament. Yeah. There's a little flare in the infield. Mudakatir will range in front of the bag in front of Laskowski to make the out. But they played a good schedule, and they saw some really good pitching. And they've upped their competitiveness. They finished third in the ISC 2 division last year. I think they've got some grander designs this year. They added Brody Fraser here at the plate to the lineup, and he fouls this first pitch off. Brody is highly touted from the Nova Scotia League. He tears that league up. And much like David Watson with the Elmira Expos, whom we saw in the earlier game, the exposure is just priceless for these young players getting on to the ISC tournament circuit, getting lots of at-bats, seeing good pitching, and upping their game.
Well, Nova Scotia has turned into a nice resource center for everyone.
Well, there are 9 Nova Scotia players here this week on various teams. I know that because Justin Schofield told me and asked me to take a Team Nova Scotia photo at the opening ceremony. You often see this. Argentina had about 50 guys last year at the ISC World Tournament. They'll have a big number again this year. Newfoundland has done this, the Kiwis, the Aussies, the Venezuelans, but they want to get the Team Nova Scotia photo together tomorrow, and happy to help out with that. And really pleased to see a lot of the young players from that Canada Games team that Nova Scotia put together that will get the opportunity to showcase themselves here in the ISC World Tournament. McCullough going deep into yet another count. Up to 48 pitches. Swing and a miss. Good drop from Devin McCullough. Went off script there a little bit.
Good quick inning there.
Still 8-3, 3 complete. Devin McCullough, much better inning again. Seems like all the first inning nerves have been calmed.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon. Welcome to
There you get a good look. There you get a good look at the Circle Tap Bar and Grill. That's where we're located. Hosting their second ISC World Tournament 2019. They're first and back at it here in 2023. Joe Todd happy to be back here in Wisconsin, Denmark, Circle Tap. We drove up, had a good drive, and I'll tell you something that made me smile as we pulled into Circle Tap yesterday.
Yes, real nice area, and just a fun part of the country, and just from the experience that we encapsulated back in 2019. So really looking forward to the week ahead.
Joe, Waterdown Hammer have pulled ahead of the Ostrander Norsemen 4-1. They pushed across 3 in the fourth on Bradley Kilpatrick. A couple of runners aboard still. You can follow along the ISC World Tournament on the iscfastpitch.com website. We've got live scoring for every game. We're going to be streaming more than 24 games here from the main diamond. For the games that are up in Denmark at Memorial Park, follow along on the Game Changer app, and selected games will be streamed by teams as well. If you follow Ostrander on Game Changer, there is a live stream through the Ostrander Norseman Game Changer link as well. So do join us all week long. Joe Todd, Blair Setford, Luciano Lafrano, Carol Dureste. That ball gets away from Shields, and Huff went to the orange bag. He's got to stay on the white bag to be able to record that out. That's a tough play for the first baseman, but he's got to stay with that white bag. So the drop third strike, Luiger Pinto. Well, Joe, he didn't hit it off the fence or over the fence.
Got on base, though.
Did get on base. If you missed the first inning, you missed a tournament for Luiger Pinto. A 2-run home run and then a bases clearing double. He's got 5 of the 8 RBIs in the game for the Circle Top Dukes. Manuel Godoy to the dish. And after 2 clean innings, Joe, Pammy struggling again with the strike zone a little bit here.
Yeah, he's throwing a lot of pitches too, so he's probably getting a little tired. He's got a lot of movement in his windup. Moving and shifting the ball 2 or 3 times before he actually releases the ball.
So, Joe, I do stand corrected on that play at first base on the drop strike. We do use the WBSC rule, and if it's a drop third strike on the first base side, only on the first base side, the batter runner can go to either bag to avoid an injury. Thanks, Matt Medalia, for the note. Appreciate you adopting that line. I had mistakenly forgotten that one, so I stand corrected on that one. So a walk to Manuel Godoy, Blair Ezekiel to the dish. Blair spent a lot of time catching for the Dukes this season, but I'm sure, Joe, at Blair's age, and it's not a dig on Blair, but he's I think out of his 30s now, if I'm not mistaken. Pop up on the infield and
quite eager to step away from the plate, I believe.
Yeah, sorry, that was just a foul ball in the infield. I'm sure he was happy to get out from behind the dish. We'll have a quick chat with Scott Standifer. This will be their offensive conference for the inning. Scott Standifer went into the Hall of Fame back in 2021 when we were in Eldridge. In a game full of nice guys, Joe, Scott Standifer, one of the nice guys.
Yeah, great disposition, always positive. Just loves the game. Been with it a long time. Has contributed a lot to the game.
Ezekiel shows how to put down a bunt. Pammy will make a much better throw this time over to first. Evan Treese steps on the bag to record the out, but a nice sacrifice bunt, Joe, and I know you will appreciate that in particular.
Extremely well done. Turned and pivoted on his back foot, kept the bat level. That's the big trick on a bunt. Keep your bat level.
So that'll set up Tyrone Bartarillo for a couple of runners in scoring position. Double and a walk for Bartarillo. Run scored. Make it 5-1 Waterdown, Joe Todd. And that'll be a mild upset for the Hammer if they go on to win that game. And this one is lifted out to center. Andy Treese will range across. It's actually the left fielder, Josh Hamilton, who makes the catch. Cut in front of Andy. Sac fly as coming in to score was Luiger Pinto. So we've had a sac bunt and a sac fly.
Yeah.
Make it 9-3 now for the Dukes. That one misses downstairs. Big swing and a miss. That had some zip on it, Joe.
Yeah. Nice level swing there by Johnson, though. Both elbows followed through with the swing. Shoulders level.
And it chases upstairs again. You go back there a third time now, or do you show him something different?
I would show him something different.
Well, we'll see what Jamie Shields has got in mind. We go way upstairs, and Johnson lays off of that one. Not a bad idea.
A lot better plate discipline on that pitch by Johnson to lay off that.
Got 3-2 count. And swing and a miss. There's the drop ball. Showed him something different indeed. A good one from Pemi Madzalukwa. They give up one. The Dukes now in front, 9-3. We'll see if Alvinston has got anything left to answer with. Coming up, home half of the fourth.
This business was opened in 1965 by my father, Ned Matiosi. Could have walked in here 25, 30 years ago and seen just about the same thing. The process of making this suit takes about 6 weeks. It goes through about 12 or 13 hands as it's moved along the line. It's an old-time place. Making stuff from scratch here in the city at a reasonable cost. It's a very personal type of business.
Right fielder Braden Woodworth up to the plate. He hit a home run to center field his last trip. We'll see what, if anything, Devin McCullough and Luiger Pinto do differently. I'm sure that was a bit of a shock for the two of them.
I'm sure Pinto made a few mental notes there.
And don't leave one middle, because anybody can hit those out. And I don't say that lightly or to dismiss Braden Woodworth. I say that because Devin McCullough is a national team pitcher as he throws a 47.5-footer and skips it off the arm of his catcher, who's now holding his forearm. That one bounced behind the plate. Jorge Segura still throwing, or back up throwing, down the right side. That's a called strike. 5-2 for the Waterdown Hammer as Ostrander get one back. And that one got a lot of the plate. Top of the third, Oswegan Redmen and Ohio Bombers are scoreless. And boy, Pinto is just taking a beating back there right now.
Gonna be looking for a tub of ice later.
Well, this is where if I was a catcher, Joe, I would be throwing a seed back to my pitcher at his ankles. But that's why I wasn't a catcher.
Yeah.
And that's a fair ball. Very adroitly handled by Tyrone Bartarillo. You would expect nothing less from the veteran over at third base.
Catcher number 61, Jamie Shields.
The fielding, something that the Kiwis take a lot of pride in, Joe, and Tyrone Bartarillo to move quickly to his right. Make that play, worry about the ball skipping off the bag.
Very steady.
Shields just back up the middle. He's aboard for second time. Triple and a single.
Third baseman, number 26, Aaron Stocking.
So, they've been moving the ball, Joe. It hasn't just been strikeout, strikeout, strikeout.
No.
He's got, 3, 4, but it hasn't been without balls in play. Stocking chases one upstairs. Snap throw down. I think they got him. They did.
Good arm.
Luiger Pinto from his knees throws a bullet. Watch this. Bang. You're out. Yep. Got the rise ball. I'm sure that was by design. And Ezekiel puts the tag on and shows the ball. No doubt. And called strike 3 to boot. So the Aces, 3 up, 3 down. Jamie Shields picked off. 4 complete. It's 9-3 for the Dukes. We'll go to the 5th. Coming up.
Dream catcher, inch by inch, we'll fight to make the lives of First Nations people in this community, this province, and on this continent better. I know we have a long way to go, but I'm proud to say as long as our people have a need, Dreamcatcher will be there for them.
Yeah, we want to thank Brian Porter for his support on the broadcast program. Brian with the Niagara Stompers. I think we're going to see him here this week. Joe?
I would presume so.
He's a busy guy these days. Thought we were getting a catching switch there. Full gear for Willie Charbon come out to take the warm-up tosses. So Munoz, Laskowski, and Modikatir will be the batters for the Dukes. 7, 8, 9 as we'll go to the 5th. The Dukes will look to put up 1 on the board and then close the door in the bottom. Try to get that run rule win. Stay with us after the conclusion of this one, whenever that may be. We'll have the Wander Springs Chippers, the 4th of the Wisconsin teams, Joe, to appear on the home field tonight. That was by design. Rich Haldane did a great job putting the schedule together. Wander Springs, the second team sponsored by Darren Derricks. Wander Springs is a local golf course just over in Greenleaf, the town, the next town over.
Rich Haldane is our World Tournament chairperson this year, being selected last year at the AGM. Being voted in, actually.
That is an elected position. Wander Springs with a 29-2 record. They won a tournament up in Michigan in Petoskey earlier in the year and had a couple of upsets of some higher ranked teams this year too. So Looking forward to seeing the Wander Spring Chippers in person. Haven't had the chance to see them in person yet this year. That one skipped in by Pammy, and Munoz is thinking about second base as Jamie Shields was looking around for the ball. It had deflected off the screen and was headed down towards third. And looks like we're going to get a pinch runner for Munoz, who's pretty quick. But just getting somebody into the game. We'll wait to see who emerges from the dugout. It is number 65. That's Ryan Sinclair.
Pitch running for the Dukes, number 65, Ryan Sinclair.
Ryan originally from Australia, but I believe he lives here full time now, does he?
I'm pretty sure he is, yes. Been here for a few years.
Yeah. Justin Laskowski to the plate. And was sitting on the rise ball. Well hit deep center field. That's off the screen. Treese will pick it up off the track into second. Sinclair makes it up to third. Justin Laskowski will breathe a sigh of relief. Joe, I'm sure he was looking for a rise ball after they had got him twice previously with the up pitch.
Yes. Good redemption there by Laskowski.
So that'll bring up Dante Mudicatier, but we'll get a mound visit from Brad Young, the bench boss for the Alvinston Aces. Brad, a veteran in the Alvinston uniform over the years. Joe, you can go back to 2002. And the very first year of ISC 2, Brad Young, the winning pitcher in that championship game for the Alvinston team.
Great piece of history there.
So Dante Mudicatier, the opportunity to put the Dukes into an advantageous position. Oswegan up 2-0 now on the Ohio Bombers. Waterdown Hammers still 5-2 lead over the Ostrander Norsemen. Downstairs from Pammy. Dante's job here, Joe, just have a good at bat and then turn it over to the top of the shop. The big boppers at the top of the shop. And you and I were talking about this off air. The top six for Circle, and not to overlook the bottom three whatsoever, but the top six for Circle Tap are a real good top six.
Yes. A lot of power there. Put the ball in play. Consistent.
I mean, we've seen that in this game on display. As Shields will make his way back out to talk signals with Pammy. Nico Deu will go right with him, and I'm sure he'll get hauled back to the plate any second now. There we go. Palazzo, Pinto, Godoy, Ezekiel, Bartarillo, and Johnson. These guys can bang the ball.
And they're all fairly good runners, too, and base runners, smart base runners.
Yeah. Shields is asking the bench if they want to put Mudicatier on. No, you can't. No. This is a wrong incorrection or interpretation of the rules. You have to throw the pitches. That should not have happened.
Designated player number 4 at Palazzo.
He's got to throw the pitches there, but somebody will have to correct Mr. Deu. We do not do the 4-ball walk in ISC. So pitching change coming up. We'll take a break, and we'll be back. Well, bases loaded for the top of the shop. It is Matt Palazzo.
Great introduction to Brody Fraser.
Yeah, and he clunks him on the elbow in the first pitch. Brody Fraser on in relief, and Matt Palazzo was not happy about that. Been walked twice, hit by a pitch. On base the hard way, and RBI the hard way.
Catcher number 3, Luigi Pinto.
Pinto with a home run and 2 doubles so far. 2 runs scored, 5 RBIs. Brody Fraser a little high in that strike zone. 2 balls now, no strikes. Fraser with a little bit of a change up just to mix it up a bit, but out of that strike zone. 3 balls now. Ball 4, walk in another run. Justin Laskowski will now score from third base. Marcatia will advance over to third. Palazzo down to second. Pinto at first base now on the walk with an RBI. Manuel Godoy now at the plate. Still no one out. That's the crucial part of this whole inning. 11-3 for Circle Tap. Godoy popping the ball up.
A little bit of miscommunication over there, too, as Stocking and Sears almost come together.
First baseman, number 21, Blair Esico.
You can see Sears is way over in Stocking's territory there, and he made the grab, but that would usually be the third baseman's ball.
This case, it was the tallest guy.
Yes. Blair Esico at the dish.
Matt Ratliff now running for Luigi Pinto over at first base. Pinch runner here in the 5th inning.
Little off speed from Brody Fraser at the top of the zone. And in for a strike.
Blair looking for his first hit of the game. 2 groundouts and a sacrifice bunt.
And Joe, you would not often say that in an 11-3 game where the Dukes are up on top, that Blair Esico wouldn't be in the middle of all of the action. Change up again, Esico out in front, and that's foul down the left side. And this one is laced down the corner and left, but just foul, just on the left side of that chalk line. You can see just kicking up some of the dust on the stone side there. Keeping you up to date on scores, 6-3 Waterdown Hammer out in front of Ostrander Norseman as that one seesaws its way into the 6th. 2-0 Oswegan Redmond up on the Ohio Bombers. Blair Ezekiel waves over the top of that good changeup from Brody Fraser. He must have thrown at least 3 of them in that at bat.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's see if Tyrone Bartarillo was going to school on that, and we'll sit on one. Get a good look there at Brody Fraser. Come back with another one downstairs to Bartarillo. Jorge Segura has thrown a game and a half on the sidelines.
He's ready for tomorrow.
Yeah, he's down there still. Well, the Dukes will get a day off tomorrow by virtue of playing today.
Yeah.
More winners bracket action tomorrow. Wrapped around the opening ceremonies is called strike at the top of the zone, again with the off speed. We'll have games for you at 1, 3, and then 6 and 8 tomorrow. Big day for us here on the ISC Network. We'll bring you the opening ceremonies as well. Make sure you're tuned in for that. Coming up, Fisher's Nate's Auto and Wander Springs Chippers. Look forward to that. Bartarillo lifts this one way up in the air. Andy Treist will come on and make the grab. That's the final out of the inning, but the Dukes push across 2. They'll take that 11-3 lead into the home half of the 5th. The Aces are going to need a couple of runs just to extend this one. Come back with us. Well, after all those warm-up pitches, Jorge Segura, there he is, number 8, will take the board for the Circle Top Dukes as we'll go to the bottom half of the 5th. We will get a look at the veteran Guatemalan, Joe, drop ball specialist. Completely different look from Devin McCullough.
Yes, all complete opposites here.
Pours in a strike to start things off against Rowan Sears, the shortstop. It'll be 8-9-1 for the Alvinston Aces.
Rowan is another Nova Scotia player.
Yes, that is correct. Another member of that Canada Games team that got the silver medal last year at the Canada Games. Called a strike. Tail of the tape of this one, Joe, was the big first inning for the Dukes. They sent 11 guys to the plate, scored 8 runs. They just jumped on Pami Madzalukwa for the Alvinston Aces. Top 6 in the order, real tough for the Dukes. The Aces put up a fight. They came back with 3 in the bottom, and we had a couple of clean innings, but just a little bit too much firepower for the Dukes tonight, it looks like.
Just 1 hit since that outburst in the first inning.
It's a foul ball. Yeah, Jamie Shields with a couple of base hits, a triple and a single, but that's the only one, as you said, past the first inning, and then probably got picked off. So Luiger Pinto showing off the arm. I'm sure everybody else around the park taking note of that. Called strike 3. Ron Sears, probably his first look at Jorge Segura. Down on strikes. Andy Treese to the plate. Joe coming up, the Wander Springs Chippers and Nate's Auto. Fisher out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Harrison Peters for the Chippers and Jerlyn Rutt for Nate's Auto. Nate's the ISC 2 finalist back in 2021. Dropped the game to Bear Bottom Lodge, who were co-league teams back then. Bear Bottom, I think, still has a league team in that Stevens League out in Pennsylvania, but not at the ISC level anymore.
That Bear Bottom team, wasn't that the original home of quite a few of those Czech players when they first came over?
A couple of them, yeah. Miklas Klaas and Michael Holobratic played with Bear Bottom. You are absolutely right on that. Change up from Jorge Segura. Jorge is a lawyer back in Guatemala City.
Oh, wow.
To Hopper, nice generous hop out to Laskowski for the second out of the inning. Boy, Joe, they don't come much better than that. That took a nice generous bounce. Watch it here in the replay. Up, right into the glove. So Devin Treest, who started off the game getting one right in the visor from Devin McCullough. Change up from Segura. None the worse for wear. Popped back up, made his way down to first, and has made a couple of nice plays out at second base since then. But boy, he got his bell rung there.
Yes. Very lucky.
Swing and a miss over the top. Down to their last strike are the Alvinston Aces.
Great mix of speeds there by Segura.
Up top, little spinner rise ball out of the zone. Full count, 3-2. Look for Jorge to go back to the drop, the bread and butter. You see the 2 go down from Pinto. And there it is. That's the ball game, folks. Circle Top Dukes, 11-3 winners in their 2023 World Tournament debut here on home soil. Alvinston Aces put up a valiant fight, but just not enough in it tonight for the Aces. Jorge Segura gets the last 3 outs for the save. Devin McCullough the win. Pami Mazalukwa will take the loss for ALVINTON. They will drop down into the losers bracket. Joe, we're going to reset. Come back with us in about 15-20 minutes for Wander Springs Chippers and Nate's Auto on the ISC network.
For the latest in softball innovation, the website where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas.
Live games, news, tournaments, and much, much more.
The best quality live softball, on demand so you can watch when you want. Become a Premier member now. SoftballPremierTV.com.
Live it on softball.